Bank of Winona and SBA completes their analysis and review of project. Have we heard anything?
Your Honor, I talked to Merchants Bank on Friday. They had not taken it to loan committee. They were expecting to do it tomorrow. Christine was on vacation or something the last week of June. Needed some time to prep and to put it in front of the group. SBA has not received the application, although they said that that's probably normal. They normally would take it from the bank once the bank has made their decision. So we continue to just sit in a holding pattern here. Recommend that the council be patient until the end of the month here, and then we need to review our options as far as whether we're going to go forward or not. With the understanding that we gave until June 13th to get a letter of commitment. We received a letter from the bank. It wasn't necessarily a letter of commitment.
It wasn't a letter of commitment. It said it wasn't a letter of commitment.
Yes. But it was enough that the council felt that you were willing to wait for a decision from the bank.
It's not really costing us anything to wait.
It's not. Although it is getting to the point where if we're going to do other things with the community center up there, we do need a decision.
Well, he wants to do that either way. Can we move ahead with that part of it?
We could consider that, but I would not recommend doing so at this point.
Part of his loan package is, the overall loan package is getting money to complete the community center.
Have you asked him again about buying it?
No, I'm not.
All right then. Any other questions? Let's move on to 8I, consideration of authorizing staff to obtain the necessary easement from Catherine Sexauer in order to extend utilities to the properties north of Pine Meadows. Ongoing negotiations have produced an agreement at a cost of $9,500 and site restoration. See attached staff report.
Your Honor, you have the agenda statement before you and the council. Finally worked out a deal with Catherine to get these utility easements, service the properties that have failing septic systems to the north of the Pine Meadows development. We are a little time sensitive on getting this project done. Winona Excavating was supposed to do the work. They've already pulled out of the town with the completion of the 2009 project. One thing Jeff and I have to review is we believe that we pulled that out of their project, so we may have an opportunity to rebid the project, or we may just want to go with the way that we had it, depending on what we think is in the best interest of the city. The trenching is fairly deep and fairly complex through that area, so we really need to get started work on that as soon as possible, so that we can get those utilities in the ground before winter.
What is the distance that we're going to be doing? Is it from that circle point of existing manhole?
Yes.
To the east?
It's to the
North
north.
to the north.
Correct.
What's the distance?
Well, let's see. 1 inch is 100 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. About 400 or 500 feet. As the crow flies.
Based roughly on what we're paying, but we're not gonna pave it. But what do you estimate as a cost for those 400 feet?
I can't answer that. It had already been bid out. It was part of the 2009 street project. Is my understanding. Is that right, Kathy? Yep. So it had been proposed, it was just we could not get this easement. The fact is that if we were going to service those properties without this easement, we were going to have to try to take legal means to take the property.
Yeah.
And the cost would have been at least the same, if not higher, to do that, and it would have been delayed as it worked its way through the court system, which wouldn't have served anybody any purpose.
Funding to do it comes from where?
Once again, it was part of the bond issue for the 2009 project.
Is that project, they didn't issue enough for the sewer project?
No,
So we have money to do this?
yes.
Weren't we originally looking at pushing those services down Sam's driveway? Or adjacent to his driveway?
And that's what you talked about a long time ago.
Okay. And I know that there was a problem with that, to some degree.
My discussions with the engineers is this is the cheapest, most efficient, most cost-effective way of bringing those services up there.
We don't wanna go back out to 43.
Gets you even further from
So this would be a dead-end hydrant line up there then?
Yes.
And no, what are the legal ramifications for the dominants?
If they don't hook up,
Aren't they required to hook up?
if we bring the pipe there, if it shows that there's a need, because they have no other place, there's no other place to build another drain field, then yes, they would be required to.
We can't wait until the septic system fails.
My understanding is at least one of the systems up there already has been deemed failed. That was the push for doing the project in the first place. There's some conjecture on the part of the village as to whether there's a failure of one of the systems. The county, I believe, has been very consistent in them saying that at least one of the properties up there has a failing system and they do not have room to build another on-site septic system.
You talking about Sam?
Yes.
But Sam is not in the city.
Not yet.
What does that mean?
He's not in yet. However, with the addition of these services, that could change.
Well, they has to.
Should,
Our ordinance don't allow us to provide it to property outside the city.
shouldn't that be concurrent attachment take place first?
It probably can't happen until after August 1st when a new law goes into effect on attachment and detachment. And that won't be in effect that'll be in effect before we start working on this project.
What's it all?
Before, you had to have, both cities had to agree to the annexation of the detachment and attachment. Now only one. Yes.
The village generation said that they would allow the concurrent detachment and annexation, but then they wanted to wait to see if we actually did the project. So they dropped all the paperwork on it because they didn't think we were actually going to do it. So they didn't want to catch if we weren't really going to do the sewer project.
But then at the last meeting of the Tri-City meeting, we were handed a letter that basically said that they didn't feel that the system up there was in fact failing, or that they did not have an opportunity to put another drain field in. So they weren't going to allow the attachment or the detachment.
They were what?
They were not going to allow it.
Sam says it doesn't have to be one.
Correct. He doesn't say that, nor does the county, but the city does.
The city of Rushford Village does.
Correct. But that issue will be moved if, in fact, he takes advantage of the new law.